Thomas into the game for Lebanon. David Frazier, big number 86 in there at one of the down lineman positions for Lebanon High School.
Reed Davis in the ball game. A lot of new names to us in that Blue Devil line right now. Here's the handoff. Breaks free at the 10. Comes outside to the 15. Still on his feet. 20, 25. Knocked down as he crosses the 30-yard line on a tackle by Adam Greer. Made a dive and tackle to save maybe a touchdown. But maybe another Blue Devil might have had a shot at him up at about the 40, but they knock him down at the 30. But Springfield is out of the hole and has a first down at their own 30-yard line.
Into the game, Eugene Stevenson for Lebanon. Also in there at a linebacker, Billy Stevenson. As a defensive back, we've got Doug Raines as the substitutes continue to come off the Lebanon sideline.
Springfield with a 1st and 10 at its own 30-yard line. Back to throw, firing over the middle, and he's got his man knocked down at the 40. Lebanon has knocked him down. O.J. Easter and Paul Cavetter, is that the name? Cavetter and Easter on the tackle up at the 40-yard line, but the flag is down. Let's see what the flags are going to be.
Illegal participation for Lebanon, and as we were subbing people in, apparently 4 went in and only 3 came out, and it looked like we had too many men on the field for Lebanon as we're trying to substitute.
And they're going to walk it off against the Blue Devils, and it's going to be about a 15-yarder, I think. And that is going to be it, all the way up to the 45-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Yellow Jackets with 1:04 remaining in the football game. Nose of the football at the Jacket 45-yard line. And here comes Springfield. They pull Dorikas Farmer out to the left. And they had loose football. It hits the ground, takes a bounce right back up in his arms. Picked up over the 50, over the 45, over the 40. Still on his feet, heading downfield. Still on his feet as he drives over the 20, over the 15, down inside the 10-yard line, and finally brought down.
Alan McPeak with the tackle for Lebanon. Also jumping on top of the pile, Michael Hale, as the running back for Springfield, Terry, broke loose and got the Sunday hop on the fumble.
Tommy Brooks picks up the fumble, goes ahead and sweeps the left end and runs all the way down to their 5. That pickup good for 50 yards.
Springfield with a couple of big plays tonight, that being one of them, has a first down inside the Lebanon 10 at about the 6-yard line. Springfield handoff again to Brooks. Nothing this time. He's going to lose yardage as Lebanon's lineman came through there. Big number 56 all over him. That is Edric Burns, and Burns had some help over there. I didn't get that number, but
Brent Thomas also in there, Clyde, as Lebanon's defense trying to make a stand as we're inside the 13-second mark.
And the clock is running, probably the last play of the ball game for the Yellow Jackets. Lebanon trying to keep them out of the end zone. Thomas handing off to the second man. Coming to the near side is Brooks. Brooks got one man to beat. Slides inside. Touchdown Springfield on the last play of the ball game.
Well, no embarrassment is that as Lebanon had cleared the bench and got a lot of the youngsters into the football game as the Jackets score on the last play of regulation. John, you'll have the call of this PAT as Springfield will be allowed to attempt the PAT or not. Springfield has decided they're not going to attempt the PAT, and the game will end.
Hi, I'm Brittany Denny, a sophomore varsity football cheerleader, and I'm here today with Jason Partlow of Partlow Funeral Chapel to present him with this Blue Devil souvenir and thank him for his support.
Thank you, Brittany. We at Partlow Funeral Chapel would like to wish the Lebanon Blue Devils and their coaching staff, the cheerleaders, a successful season.
Let's go Blues!
The post-game show with your head coach Bob Dillard and your host John Bryan, brought to you by Fakes and Hooker Decorating Center, TRW Commercial Steering Division, Aflac with Mike Sewell and Rick Thorne, your agents, and Tim Bennett Insurance.
With a solid offensive and defensive effort tonight as they pull out the victory by a score of 28-13. we will have our post-game show with Bob Dillard. Tell you what, let's take another quick 2-minute break, and we'll see if we can get Bob back after this 2-minute timeout. Lebanon wins the football game 28-13, and we'll be back in 2 minutes. Bob Dillard for the Blue Devil post-game show with John Bryan.
Thank you, Tommy. Once again, talking with head coach Bob Dillard of the Blue Devils. Coach, obviously saw something on the films for Brian Reeves. The first half alone, he had 115 yards.
Well, we felt like, going into the ball game, the things that we'd seen on film of them, that we could do some things with our fullback that would hopefully give them some problems. And our guys did a good job blocking up front, and Brian had a big night.
Finished with 162 yards on the ground on 25 carries. Once again, Pitt back there at the quarterback position. Super night for Pitt. He's, let me see here, 11 out of 16 for 156 yards and 1 touchdown. Pitt had a great night.
Yeah, he had a good night. He threw the football real well, I thought. We did a good job catching the football, and he had a big night. He kind of twisted his knee a little bit, and he was having a fit for me to let him run the option there in the second half, and of course we weren't going to do that. But Damon's a tough youngster, and it was going to take more than that to get him down, and he had a big night for us.
Coach, you're up late in the fourth quarter, and Joe Preer makes a big interception to ice it.
Yeah, that was a big play for us. Joe coming back off that ankle injury that he hurt at the Jamboree. That was a big play for us. That really sewed it up for us.
Once again, the kicking game is there for us on the point after attempts. Stevens doing a good job for you.
Ryan Stevens is doing an excellent job for us kicking the football on extra points. He's very accurate, and if we can score, then it's getting to the point that 7 is almost automatic. Our guys have done a good job with the snap, and if we get the snap and get the hold down, Ryan's going to punch it through there.
We've noticed he's got great form. He's a young kid, and he's not very big, but he's got the form that it takes.
Yeah, he does. He really worked hard over the summer, went to some kicking camps, and that really helped him, I think. And Ryan's a competitor. When he goes out there, he's got one job, and he's got one focus, and that's to kick the football through the uprights, and he does a good job for us.
Coach, 2 weeks in a row, this Blue Devil bunch comes out and plays with a lot of heart and a lot of desire, and they basically play with a chip on their shoulder tonight.
Yeah, we did. We challenged our defense, especially this week. We've got to come out and play better defense than what we've played in the first 2 ball games, and those guys responded to that. And that's the kind of guys we have. They play with a lot of heart and with a lot of effort, and we've gotten better. We've improved each week these first 3 weeks, and that's the goal that we've got, is to continue to get better each week, and hopefully we'll come back Monday and go to work and do that.
Coach, we saw a lot of crazy things tonight, one being the Hankins touchdown where he had both of the D-back and the offensive receiver catching the ball and taking it in the end zone.
Yeah, I asked Coach Thomas after the ball game if the officials explained that call to him, because I didn't know. It surprised me when the official signaled touchdown. First of all, I didn't think Jason was in the end zone. I don't know, he may have been, but it was an interesting call, to say the least.
And then Hicks helps out the running back a little bit in the second half. I hadn't seen that since junior pro.
No, I've got to have a talk with Chris about that. We can't do those.
Had his heart right, though.
Yeah, he was. He sees Brian struggling there. He's going to help him out, and that's what this game's all about, is caring about each other and helping each other in tough situations. We learn a lot of that through football, and that's a good job. We've just got to harness that a little bit. We can't do it in that situation.
Coach, we got Mount Juliet next week. We don't have to say how big that game is. They've gone down to take on Pearl Cone tonight. So last year they come off a loss at Pearl Cone and come into Lebanon. Now we're going down there with a big win on our back.
Well, the Lebanon Mount Juliet game is a big football game. Every year it's that way, and I'm sure this year will be no exception.
Coach, I'll let you get back with your kids. I know you're going to enjoy this trip back to Lebanon.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more pleasant ride than the one we had last week.
All right, Coach. Bob Dillard here at the post-game show with your host, John Bryan. We'll take it back to the station for this 2-minute timeout.
The post-game show with your head coach, Bob Dillard, and your host, John Bryan. Brought to you by Fakes and Hooker Decorating Center. TRW Commercial Steering Division. Aflac with Mike Sewell and Rick Thorne, your agents. And Tim Bennett Insurance.
A happy bunch of Blue Devils still in the end zone celebrating tonight's win over the Yellow Jackets. Terry Stafford, our man with the numbers, has the scoring summary for you in the postgame.
Thank you, Tommy. As Lebanon gets in the win column tonight, defeating Springfield 28-13. Here's the scoring recap. Lebanon gets on the board first in the first quarter, 2:33 left in the quarter. Brian Reeves runs it in from 8 yards away as Lebanon goes 61 yards in 9 plays. Ryan Stevens comes in, kicks the extra point, and at the end of the first quarter, Lebanon led 7-0. In the second quarter, with 6 minutes left, Damon Pitt runs it in for a touchdown from 1 yard away. Lebanon's drive, 68 yards, 8 plays. Stevens kicks the extra point again, and at that point, Lebanon led 14-0. And then with 42 seconds left in the first half, Damon Pitt hits Jason Hankins from 20 yards away as Lebanon goes 88 yards in 8 plays. Stevens again with the extra point, and at halftime, Lebanon led 21-0. In the second half, Springfield gets on the board first. 6:43 left in the third. Tremaine Turner runs it in from 3 yards away. Springfield going 58 yards, 10 plays. Will Onstott comes in, kicks the extra point, and they cut into the Lebanon lead, making it 21-7 at that point. In the fourth quarter, Lebanon gets on the board. Reeves scoring his second touchdown of the night. 2-yard run by Reeves as Lebanon goes 67 yards in 10 plays. Stevens once again comes in, kicks the extra point, and that stretches the Lebanon lead to 28-7. And then on the last play of the game, LaMichael Brooks for Springfield runs it in from 7 yards away as Springfield goes 87 yards in 4 plays, scoring the touchdown. Since time had expired, Springfield elected not to go for the extra point, so that's how we get our final score. Lebanon defeating Springfield tonight, 28-13. Let's take
This has been a Lebanon All Sports Booster Club production.